This is what Peter King, who's not local, thinks about the situation.
Personally, just my thing, I think it's idiotic to want to take the call that was made and use that to blame the injury on. One of the reasons that this team drafted Trey Lance is that he's got great ability to run with the ball. He's a mobile quarterback. Was anybody questioning the call that the Baltimore Ravens made when Lamar Jackson ran for whatever it was, a 68-yard touchdown the other day? I mean, no.
I don't want to assume how.
Never step on Peter King.
My bad. Yeah, that was E1?
E-dub?
E-dub. Look, I don't want to assume what media you all consume. I don't want to assume how you take in your media. There's a billion forms and a billion ways to do that now. But I want you to know something that I noticed. Nobody outside of the Bay Area is blaming Kyle Shanahan. Literally, I can't find someone. I'm looking everywhere. I went on a journey last night. Social media, listening to reading stories, listening to what different people are saying about this. Not only is their opinion that it's not Kyle's fault, they seem surprised that anybody is even bringing that up. Peter King just called it idiotic. I'm not here to call anybody who thinks anything an idiot. I'm not here to do that. Not my favorite word to begin with. And I am here in the Bay Area, so I understand the emotion that, Dibs, you bring up.
Yes.
I totally get it. But I want everyone to know we have to admit a little bias here because our emotion is part of the opinion.
Absolutely.
If you're blaming Kyle. People who have removed themselves from this, they are unemotional and unbiased. That doesn't even occur to them that a football player would get hurt and you would blame the play call.
Well, they're wrong. Those people...
That's a fine opinion. Wrong. I don't share it, but it's a fine opinion.
King, Tucker, Florio, all the rest of you non-Bay Area talking heads, you don't know what you're talking about because you didn't draft Trey Lance. You didn't send 3 first-round picks to trade up for a guy who's a glorified running back. And Kyle Shanahan doesn't trust him enough to throw the football. All he trusted him to do was run the ball. And you and I got into this a little bit yesterday. He's only 22. Josh Allen's 26. 22 is a lot different than 26. You've got a 22-year-old who hasn't played a lot of football. And obviously, the reports are when he was on the ground injured, he was openly asking if he did the right thing.
Did I read it wrong?
Not. Yeah. So you've got a guy who doesn't even know in his own mind confidently what he's doing, yet the head coach is putting him in a position to where he's running into harm's way. Yeah. So I know what you're saying, and I think you're right about the emotions, and my emotions are still running high. And if Jimmy G goes to Denver and wins, that tamps down a lot of the emotions as a Niner fan. However, it still burns, and it's still raw because you ran the guy, in my opinion, you ran him too much, and you got what you got. And, this is not Kyle's fault, quote unquote, but I do question the usage of Trey Lance.
Yeah, and listen, I know a lot of people share your opinion. I just don't share it because it's a play call. Like it's a piece of paper and he goes, let's run this play. And it's the same play that's being run all over the NFL. And a guy got hurt and that stinks. It stinks to high heaven. Did everybody, and we'll play this for you a little bit later, did everybody go and hear the audio? This is amazing to me that they have this, but the audio of Trey Lance getting on the cart and what he said to Fred Warner, and the way Fred, and by the way, Garoppolo and many others came over and did what you all do, like you go tap him on the shoulder, but hearing...
You're telling me Jimmy didn't walk up and say, see ya. That's not...
I think he said thanks, actually.
Wow.
Thanks. I'll share some of the $50 million with you. I don't know. No, all that stuff's awful. I mean, it's terrible, but it was heartwarming to hear the way his teammates and, quite frankly, the way he reacted. He's getting on the cart. He's not writhing in pain. He's telling Fred Warner, I'm going to be back. I mean, that quick. We're talking about, moments later. And that's how he feels. So that's really, really heartwarming. That's just me. I'm not going to put it on a play call. It's very, very unfortunate that it happened. It can happen on any play. It is football, and it's being run all over the league. And by the way, it's one of the things we were excited about. Where were our emotions when they were wrapped up in Trey? We're like, we got a playmaker. And then everyone wants to
Not
bubble
on
wrap
QB
him.
power.
But you like this
Not on that play.
Yes, that play.
No, I want him on the edge. You didn't see Colin Kaepernick run
I know,
QB
but this is,
power.
But,
It's
but
ridiculous.
No, because so many players are running it, and we do this to play callers where we're like, no, I want you over here. I want you to run on the outside. I don't want you to run on the inside. I want you to run. It's like it doesn't work that way. If you know if you know where
Jimmy
he's going.
G has never once run QB power.
Right, because he can't.
But because
That's
Trey Lance
why we
can
were
doesn't mean
excited.
you do it.
Well, yeah, it does, actually.
No, because you can do other things with Trey Lance. You don't trade up to get a guy number 3 overall just to go student body right. We're going to turn our calendar to 19-6.
That's not what they were doing.
That's exactly what they were doing.
No, they weren't. They were running a lot of different plays. That was one of them. Kay Adams, NFL Network.
With many a disgruntled fan and bitter pundit in the Bay Area criticizing Shanahan for endangering Trey Lance. This is ridiculous. Harbaugh didn't get blamed for Lamar getting hurt, did he? Sirianni wouldn't get blamed if Hurts got injured. McDermott won't get blamed if Josh Allen goes down. Collinsworth said in the fourth quarter last night that maybe Eberflus should get Fields running a bit when they got effective in the run game against Green Bay. Why do we need someone to blame? Really think about that as you're celebrating your wins for your team or you're trying to rebuild or figure things out. Shanahan utilized his quarterback skill set in a way that any good offensive-minded coach would. To say otherwise is honestly a bit laughable. Fire Kyle, you cannot like him. You might not like him in a press conference. And I know it's frustrating when players get hurt. It is an unfortunate reality of the game. It doesn't mean it's somebody's fault.
It's been
FanDuel, by the way. Kay Adams no longer with.
Oh, sorry,
NFL Network.
sorry, FanDuel, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change your mind after 3 days. I'm not looking to change any of your minds.
No, and I appreciate her hypotheticaling the entire conversation with if Hurts gets hurt, would it be Sirianni's fault? And if
she's right.
No, she's wrong.
No, she's totally
because
right.
Because if she has Jalen Hurts as a punt returner and he gets hurt, then absolutely it's Sirianni's fault. It's all contextual.
Well, but no
and
one's
in this case,
but
when
wait
you
a
run
minute.
QB
No,
power
that's not a
for
fair
a guy,
comp.
when you run him 48 times in 5 games, in 4 games.
That's not a fair comp.
No, it's a fair comp because she did hypotheticals.
No, but
she's running hypotheticals.
Nobody's running Trey Lance as the punt returner.
But
he
it's
didn't
all
do that.
contextual. What Shanahan did is he put Trey Lance in a position where he's running the ball more often than he should have been running the ball.
No, and again, that is your opinion, and it is shared by many, and that has been clear.
And that's her opinion,
right?
And I rebuke it.
And that's fine.
It.
What I'm trying to get everybody to wrap their mind around today is not which opinion is right. I'm trying to get you to wrap your mind around the idea that there is some irrational emotion involved in that opinion.
And I've given you that. I've agreed it.
Okay.
Next question.
All right. Yeah.
Asked and answered.
Okay.